The Canon C50 is stirring excitement because it seems built from the same hardware foundation as the EOS R5 Mark II, offering creators a powerful full-frame sensor, strong autofocus, and high-performance processing. Rumors suggest it will debut at a September 9, 2025 cinema-focused YouTube premiere, arriving just ahead of the IBC trade show. The teaser shows a compact, boxy design with a front tally lamp and a red record button, giving it a video-first identity. By contrast, the Sony FX3 is already here and has earned its reputation as a go-to small, lightweight, full-frame cinema camera. It offers excellent video features, built-in cooling, a compact body designed for gimbals, and a robust ecosystem of accessories. That puts the FX3 in a familiar place in creators' minds, while the C50, if real, could shake things up with Canon's cinematic sensibilities. In terms of design and ergonomics, the FX3 is known for its lean, minimalist form factor that fits comfortably on gimbals or handheld rigs. Its handle includes XLR audio inputs, and it has a modular design that resists overheating during extended video shooting. The C50 teaser suggests something similar, but with Canon's own cinema profile. No viewfinder hump, a flat top for cage mounting, and clear record controls within sight. If Canon delivers, the C50 could combine FX3-style simplicity with Canon's video tools. That teased design hints at a serious commitment to ergonomics for filmmakers. And given that Canon tends to prioritize tactile controls and monitoring tools, the C50 might edge out in usability, even if Sony already has the rig-ready concept locked down. When it comes to sensor performance and autofocus, the FX3 features a 12-bit full-frame sensor with excellent low-light performance and Sony's fast, accurate autofocus. It can record up to 4K 120p internally with 10-bit 422 and is praised for offering impressive dynamic range for its size. The Canon C50 is expected to borrow much of its internals, sensor performance, readout speeds, and autofocus tech from the EOS R5 Mark II. If that holds true, the C50 could offer higher resolutions rumored around 32 megapixels and faster processing power right out of the gate. Canon's dual-pixel AF is also known for being smooth, responsive, and reliable, qualities that could make the C50's tracking better than the FX3's in real-world applications, especially when using face or subject tracking in video. The rumored full-frame open-gate recording could also give the C50 a framing flexibility that the FX3 doesn't match. On paper and in rumor, the C50 looks poised to blow past the FX3 in sensor heft and autofocus finesse. If Canon follows through, video features and recording formats are a critical area. The FX3 is already a popular pick among creators because it offers 4K up to 120p internal, S-Log profiles, 10-bit 422 color internally, and options for external RAW via HDMI. It also has Sony's familiar menu system and creative look tools. What the C50 might bring is Cinema EOS OS, which includes things like customizable function buttons, waveform monitors, LUT support, timecode in and out, and metadata recording. All tools that ease post-production and multicam workflows. The rumored open gate sensing mode would let you use the whole sensor for different aspect ratios, ideal when shooting cinematic AHDS vertical video or square formats without cropping into the sensor. It's something creators frequently request but don't get from smaller cine cameras. Between the FX3's steady reliability and Sony's ecosystem, and the C50's promise of cinematic flexibility, the battle could hinge on whether Canon's software experience outpaces Sony's polished and proven package. On the topic of cooling and recording endurance, the FX3 includes an active cooling fan that lets it record unlimited 4K footage until you run out of storage or battery. Filmmakers love that reliability, especially when shooting long takes. The rumored design for the C50, by comparison, suggests Canon understands the importance of reliable thermal behavior. There's speculation that it will include a built-in fan and improved heat management over the older R5C hybrid. If Canon delivers a true cinema-style cooling system, the C50 could match the FX3's endurance, while giving Canon's color science and menu experience as an advantage. Stabilization is another area where the two take different approaches. Sony FX3 relies solely on lens-based stabilization and the camera's active electronic stabilization, which is good for run and gun, but not as subtle as image sensor stabilization. Canon's rumored C50, drawing from R52 heritage, might include in-body image stabilization, IBIS. That would enable smooth handheld shots even with primes or vintage lenses. When it comes to audio input and monitoring, the FX3 includes a top handle accessory that supports XLR inputs, headphone and mic jacks, and a rich audio control layout. That sets a high bar for audio integration. The C50 teaser gives no clear XLR clues, but users across forums have been keen to see built-in XLR, internal ND filters, full-size HDMI, and professional resettable audio presets. If Canon offers first-party handles or shells that integrate audio modules directly, it could unify the audio experience more seamlessly than the modular FX3. But if the C50 launches without those, Sony's FX3 will remain the easier choice for on-cam pro audio out of the box. Price and market positioning may be where comparison really sharpens. The FX3 lists in the US at around $3,900 for the body alone. That has made it an aspirational yet approachable cinema camera for independent filmmakers. Rumor trails for the Canon C50 suggest a launch price somewhere in a similar ballpark, maybe $3,999 to $4,499. If Canon lands it under $4,000 with headline features like Cinema EOS, IBIS, OpenGate, and superior autofocus, it could represent better value, at least on paper. But Smith FX3's advantage is its proven reliability, deep accessory ecosystem, and maturity in the market. Canon needs to back its rumored features with stable software and confident camera behavior to justify the price tag. If rumors hold true, we could see a heated battle for compact cinema supremacy. Lastly, ecosystem and accessory support play a huge role in real-world usability. The FX3 already leverages Sony's gimbal kits, cages, third-party SSD recorders, and trustworthy firmware updates. It's a stable platform filmmakers buy into. The Canon C50 is still in the rumor phase, so accessory support is speculative too. But Canon's legacy system means it could lean on smaller mounts, existing RF cinezooms, and partner hardware to speed up workflow integration. If Canon backs C50 with solid workflow tools, broadcast profiles, and customization options, including wireless control and multicam sync, it could quickly ramp up support across rigs, rental houses, and production houses.